Hi there. You wouldn't know it, but it's a bloody lovely day, and as soon as I set the camera up, the sun's gone behind the cloud, so hopefully it'll come out again in a minute. And also, I'm rather hoping that, even though it's quite windy, no surprise, see if my new sound system's working. Look, it clicks on there. The other one I had to put in the pocket, keep taking out, put it back in again. But this might be the answer if it's nice and clear. Don't know if it records in stereo though. I think it's in mono. And I don't know if that should make a difference or not. Anyway, I'm out on this pasture. I haven't been out in a while. It's absolutely blissful. I'm not taking it too seriously. I've had quite a Georgian day, or rather a sort of early 18th century day. I found some Georgian buckles. I found a William III copper coin. I'll show you now. That's a nice shoe buckle there. Livery buttons. I mean, that's a very nice one with its sort of chape still in it. Don't know what that was. They were used for spurs or something, possibly. That might be a bit earlier. Lovely piece of flint. I love the fact that you're detecting in places which has been basically. I mean, there's no chance that that's not been worked or napped. That places that have been, you know, people have been around for tens of thousands of years. Look at that, it's wonderful. Normal buttons for another little Georgian shoe buckle, I would have thought. Nice hoop, cartridges. Oh, and this, look, nice little William III, I think. Copper coin. Was that William and Mary? No, just William, I think. And possibly George the First. I don't know. All sorts of bits and pieces. But just down here, now this is quite interesting. This might be one of these videos when we come back to the same area in the morning, because I've been out here quite a long time and I'm not struggling. I'm finding lots of stuff, but nothing particularly maybe fascinating enough to get excited about. Apart from until I found this. Now, my God, it gave a squawky sound. I mean, proper squawky. Sounded like a horrible old cartridge. It's something I've not found before. It's cross-shaped with a sort of scoopy bit at the end. I don't think it's broken. I think it's all what it should be. There looks to be a hole in the middle and some sort of decoration possibly. Now, I've just no idea, but I just love finding stuff like this. Really interesting. I mean, I suspect it's a belt mount of sorts with the hole in it, but God knows what it dates to, whether it's sort of fairly modern or fairly early. I mean, it looks pretty crude to me, but I've no idea what it is. Is it religious being a cross like that? I'm not so sure. Does it have a hole down there as well? I don't know, but what a cool thing to find. I mean, really quite unusual. Well, unusual to me. I've not found one of these before. So apart from the Georgian shoe buckles and the William III copper coin, that's just absolutely wonderful. So look, we'll go back to headquarters with this because we've got to. I mean, I've not seen anything like it before. I think it's quite unusual, and hopefully I would have done some research. Okay, let's go. Hi there, welcome to headquarters to have a look at this. Now, when I got home, I put it on the detecting hub as bronze crossy thing, and in hindsight I probably should have known better, because I have found this sort of thing before, but not exactly like this one. And Ronan, who is particularly good on this sort of thing, he is one of the chiefs of the detecting hub.co.uk. I'll put the information to that below just now. He got on very early on and said early medieval stirrup mount. So that's what it is, a stirrup mount. Now, he also put me towards this, which is a very, very similar one. And it says a complete copper cast alloy Anglo-Scandinavian stirrup strap mount dating from 1000 to 1100 AD. So it's quite early. It's either sort of late Saxon or Norman. And I don't think they existed much after that period from my reading. Now the question probably on everyone's lips, including mine, is exactly how did these work? And I suspect there are lots of you who do know how they work, but I didn't exactly know how they work. It's all very good saying, it's a stirrup mount, it's a strap end, it's a whatever it might be. I mean, even a strap end, even though the clue is sort of in the title, you'd be excused for not knowing what one was. In fact, they had basically anything to go at the end of some sort of leather strap or cord or whatever it might be to stop it fraying at the end. Some are very grand, some are very simple, as are the ones we all find. And as I said, it's very easy just to say, oh, it's this, it's that, expecting us all to know what it means. I mean, I honestly didn't know 100% how this worked, but I came across a website which does, called www.vikingartefacts.com. and it shows you quite concisely. It's really good. The portable antiquity scheme also says in its guide, which I think is either taken from this or the other way around, which I don't feel was particularly helpful, not to my English anyway. The stirrup mounts, their function was to protect the stirrup strap where it looped through the loop at the apex of the iron stirrup. Well, if you think long and hard about that, you'd probably know what it means, but I didn't exactly. But this website brilliantly has a diagram, and there you can see up at the top the apex of the stirrup, obviously. You've got something like this, which is put against the actual leather strap where it joins the stirrup to protect it. Now, to me, that looks a little bit, I'm not sure how substantial that would be for doing that job. But anyway, that's what they were. And I suspect some were bigger and some were smaller. And actually, if you think your strap was probably the width of that, if not slightly longer, then you do probably have a fairly substantial stirrup strap to attach to your metal stirrup. And there it is. You can also see, and I have actually used this diagram before, where what they call the copper alloy terminals go, which are the bits that actually join those bits of the stirrup to the stretcher, as it were, these bits that go in that triangular corner. So I'll leave a link to this. It's in the description so you can have a look at it because it is quite useful. And below it, you've got several other stirrup mounts or stirrup strap mounts, whatever they call them. And they are all rather beautiful. And I think, as I said, I'm right in saying that they didn't survive much after the late Saxon period, early Norman period. So I'm absolutely thrilled with that. It's a really early piece of British history, if not slightly Viking or Anglo-Scandinavian. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to that, and I'll see you a bit later. Well, I could have sworn this was a cartridge. You've got to be careful with the Deus when you hear something really foily and soft like a cartridge, because it could be something else. Now, the same material as a cartridge, same sort of width, sort of density as a cartridge. So, I mean, you have got to be careful, but look, it's a lovely little buckle with its pin, and its strap in there, complete medieval buckle. You can't get, look, it's perfect, absolutely perfect. Usually we only find these bits or the end bit here, the buckle bit, but to have a full one like that, that's really special. Well, this is quite nice sounding. It's slightly in cartridge territory. So I'll get plugged in now. I wonder if this is working as well as I hope my mic is working. The mic's working well, and this is working well. Well, we're really onto something. We're cooking on gas, as they say. And if it's not any good, I've got something fabulous to show you as well. It's all suddenly happening. I often think it is a bit like fishing, this sport. Well, it's very like fishing, isn't it? This hobby. You can go for a long time without catching anything, and suddenly everything starts feeding. Right, well, let's have a listen to this. Oh, surprise, surprise. Right, we're not going to get anything, are we? Ah, so boring. Okay, here we go. Well, that's nice, that's really nice. I mean, if it's not a cartridge, it's got a really good chance of being something good. That sort of sound in this field. I bet it is a cartridge. Fast live dig. No, I don't reckon it is. I reckon it's sounding too clipped and little. too clipped and little for a cartridge. What an absolutely beautiful day to be out. One of those days I just like being out. I don't care if I don't find anything, as I've gone a long time without even filming. Just in here. Well, look, we can be excused for digging that. It's not very nice. It's a horrible button. It's a modern button. I actually thought that's a Roman coin when I first saw the edge of it. But, you know, you can't not dig those. I mean, that's exactly the same sound, size, metal as a Roman coin would be. But look at this. Now, I found a fair few hammered coins in my time. Look at this little buckle as well. That's absolutely charming. I love that. But look at this. Look at this penny. It's an Edward penny. And it's completely unclipped. Absolutely perfect. It's a bit worn, as you'd expect. I don't know which one it is. Probably the first. And I can clearly see Cantor, C-A-N-T-O-R. So it's an Edward penny, Canterbury mint. So two tiny, really wonderful things. Canterbury mint. Push that on to record, so easy. You've got to change your kit every now and again, haven't you? Because you might be missing out on what might be better. And this one, this is cheaper than the last one, and I don't know. Well, we'll see. Well, the proof of the pudding. Look, you can hear the electric fence. I'm not... I haven't been out for that long, but I'm not completely feeling it today. And it's been bloody good fun. We found some great things. But I know I'm coming back tomorrow because it's going to be a nice day as well. The weather's been foul here recently, but we've got 2 days back to back without cold and rain and wind. And that is bang on the surface of an old molehill. And I don't think it's going to be very nice, but it's an easy one to end on today. And we'll come back tomorrow when I'm feeling a bit more, I just feel, yeah, just not quite with it. Gosh, that's really loud and punchy. This is going to be horrible, I warn you. Nothing good can come of something so punchy sounding. Well, I say that. It's a little coin of sorts. It might even be a coin weight. So interesting, isn't it? That bang on the surface of an old molehill. I thought, my God, it's going to be a rifle. It's going to be a casing of sorts. Well, I don't know. Is it a weight, coin weight? It's got a shield on one side with some lions on it, I think. Let me just turn this off. Well, that's a new one on me. I don't think it's very old, sadly. But I don't think it's a coin either. I can't really make it out. It's got something on it. I think it's well, I don't know is the answer. We'll take it back. We'll have a look at it when we go back to headquarters. Hopefully we'll find some stuff tomorrow, and that will warrant having a look at this as well. But it's certainly unusual, I think. Does it say penny? I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you in the morning. Looks a bit wonky, the camera. Let's just hang on a second. We are on a bit of it does slope that way a bit, but I'm not sure how much. Hi there. Well, I'm back and I'm feeling much more punchy about it today. I don't know why. Yesterday, even though it was so lovely and I had a good time, my mind wasn't really on it. And I just think maybe I might have been missing stuff because I wasn't really concentrating as much as I should be. But I'm back now, and I've not been here very long. My first signal was this wonderful buckle. Just quickly to say I'm sorry about the autofocus in that clip and the lens going in and out. It happened before, and 2 or 3 people got really angry, really cross, really quickly, saying, sort your camera out, take it off autofocus, as if it was a regular occurrence. It's the first time it happened in 190 videos. I've done 190 videos, and it's never happened before. So please be patient. If something like this does happen to us when we are making these things, it might not be a common occurrence. And as I said, this is only the second time and the last time. And I think it's because when I approach the camera to do something like that and back off again, what happens is the camera itself starts trying to readjust. I suspect I'll still get comments from people going, for God's sake, get a life, etc, etc. But it's not done intentionally. It was actually making me a bit seasick, to be fair. And so what I've done is I have just blurred it out completely. It doesn't last very long. It's another minute or so, then it rights itself. So if you could just bear with me through that, that would be brilliant. But while I've got you, just quickly, the last thing we found the previous day was this funny coin. Now, I suspect a few of you who've seen this before would probably as well been shouting at the camera going, it's what's it? I thought at the time I could see Guernsey on it, and I could see Guernsey on it because that's what it is. It's a little copper Guernsey coin. I put in Guernsey copper coin onto Google, and this is what came up. And it's something called a double, a double, spelt double. Probably pronounced double, I don't know, maybe it's French. And this one is 2 double. And it's minted in 1933. Or double. Is it double? Anyway, minted in 1933 or 1938, one of the two. I can't quite make it out. And so that's what it is. Not the oldest thing in the world, but certainly an unusual find for me because I haven't found a Guernsey coin before. So anyway, that's what that is. And let's go back to the field, and I'll see you back here one more time. I'll show you. I'm on the sort of edge of the field here. I think we're wired up as metal detectorists to charge into the middle of the field. And I think we slightly ignore the edges, but this was bang on the edge, and it's an absolutely lovely one. It's missing its pin, but it's got everything else. I mean, it's really still a bit muddy from my pocket, but I'm really pleased with that. That's a lovely little thing. And to have that so early on is really encouraging. But as I said, yeah, it seems to be better signals on the edge of the field than it does in the middle. But anyway, I've got something which I think is very promising sounding just here. I mean, we are back in cartridge land in a big way. So, I mean, but that just feels a bit higher pitched and sharper and deeper. Oh, all the rain and cold we've had, just get a couple of days back to back like this is just magic. Right, still in there. I always tell you when I'm pinpointing well, and I tell you when I'm pinpointing badly. Pinpointing really badly today. I'm off by miles. But I think this one is a very sharp, I've lost it, but the Deus does this sometimes when you loosen something. It almost certainly means it's sitting on the bottom there somewhere. Yup. So I think I've taken it out to the side perhaps, and it should be there. Now let's fingers crossed. I don't think that's a cartridge. Doesn't sound like a cartridge to me. Well, look. It's not a cartridge. It's an old lead weight of sorts. Not the most beautiful thing in the world, but I reckon that's got some age. I can't remember what these were for. I mean, I think some people reckon to sort of rabbit traps. I mean, it's got some weight to it. It's got a hole running down the middle of it. So that's brilliant. I mean, I do know this field, but I haven't done it as much as others, so there's always a chance of things being here. And that is, well, looks like old lead to me. Well, this is the second little buckle I found already, and I love these. I found a few of these now. They're earlier than they look. I always think they look a bit modern with those pointy bits there. But there is enough decoration there, do you see? And little bits of notching to, well, I mean, I can't remember off the top of my head what they are, but there's usually what they say, 1250 to 1450, big 200-year gap. But I love them. They're really cool and a good, really good sign. Well, I hope you can hear me. There's a tractor working quite nearby. Don't know what he's doing. I don't think he's spreading the fields or anything, because he's not moving away from one spot. The noise is fairly constant. Now, you can hear what I've got to deal with in my ears. That permanent electric fence all around here. As I've said before, I'm getting a bit used to it, but listen, now, I reckon I started digging and then the signal got a bit stronger, so I'm keeping with it. There's a tiny wisp amongst that, isn't there? If you are getting a blip at the same time as the wisp, you're not going to hear it. It completely cuts out the wisp. I'm just getting a bit used to that. Might be absolute rubbish, but once I'd removed that much and it's still there, it's giving me a bit of hope. I mean, we're back in proper cartridge land now. I don't know, that might not be a cartridge. That's sounding quite promising. Well, let's have a look. I bet it is now. No. Well, look. I think it's another buckle. From all the way down there with that electric fence and that tractor and everything. Can you hear me with the new machine? Let's have a look. Okay, nothing special. It's just half of a spectacle buckle. That really isn't anything to write home about, but it was not a cartridge from all the way down there with all this interference. You've got to keep your wits about you with this machine. Well, this sounded really flat. Dug it from there. And it still sounds pretty flat. I mean, I would have given anything that was a sort of crappy, not a full cartridge, but just the side of it. But it's not. Look, you've got to be a bit careful with the Deus, with what you dig and what you don't dig. It's a lovely strap end. Look at that with the sort of acorn finial. So that's quite interesting because it shows you how they work. So you've got your forked bit in the middle with the actual decorated part, the acorn bit in this case. And then you've got your copper on that side, joined by, fixed with a rivet. And then you would have had another bit of copper on this side, like that, hiding the fork. And that would have been your strap end, your medieval strap end. Isn't that really cool? Lovely. And again, quite near the edge of the field. Well, as is quite often the case with those fields that are really electric fancy, after an hour or two or three, I get it's too much. So I've got to come somewhere else. Now, I'm in a field adjoining a brilliant field, which I've skirted round and never found anything, and so I've not really bothered, but I thought, well, let's give this a go. There are often a couple of other grumpy horses. They're not here today. And in quite quick succession, apart from this, which I think must be part of a Saxon brooch, because I reckon that bit there is where either the catch or where the pin would have started. I'm convinced. I mean, it needs to be cleaned up. But that's wonderful. That was foily. So these three, well, the four bits, well, literally these three bits were on the surface. I mean, they were proper ding, ding, ding. I thought, well, they're rifle rounds or little rifle cases of sorts. Let's just dig them up and get them out of the way. And each of them was something good. First, it was this wonderful casket key, and it was very near the surface. Now, there were molds here too, but proper ding, ding, ding. I haven't found one of these in ages. I'm absolutely thrilled with it. But you can imagine that making a proper noise. And then a nice bronze hoop. And those who know me from my videos know I love a little hoop like this, even though I haven't found one in years. Now, I don't know what it is about the days, but these things ring up like socking great big silver coins. They really do. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of their shape or something. And then this little strap here, which was very close to the surface. So, I mean, having been here before and never found anything, it's just, I mean, I can't really explain it. But here, now, I just have to plug you in. I unplug it when I'm doing a bit of a break from recording, because I'm convinced that the splitter does not actually help with the audio in my ear. I don't know why, but if I've been feeling I've been doing a lot without finding anything, I tend to take it out. Now this says ballsy as well, and I would say anywhere else, rifle round or cartridge, but I can't ignore these at the moment because they look, listen. I mean, that's probably about, I don't know, 2 inches. No deeper, I wouldn't have thought. And I'm just going to risk it. I hope you can hear me. Wonder how this is going. My new machine. So handy. Let's go click, click, click. No having to put it in my pocket or anything. I bet it'll be something horrible now. Of course it will be. It's the one I choose to live dig rather than get out of the way. But God, I'm pinpointing badly today. I really am. I can't. Maybe it's slightly deeper than I thought. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's lead. I can see it. Oh, for Pete's sake. Absolutely infuriating. I am sorry. It's a bit of aluminium rubbish. But I couldn't not dig that. I had to just... Well, anyway. That's a real shame. I'll do another live dig straight away and see if that... And then I got a really squeaky one. It was a long way down. It was brilliant. A really fun dig. Certainly more than a pinpointer. And it's this. Now, I don't think it's very old. And actually, when I first saw it, I thought, it's just a bottle opener. That is, well, it could be a bottle opener. That's what it looks like. Even though I think it's probably slightly older than that. I mean, if I'm lucky, 18th century, 17th century, I don't know. It's completely charming. It's a really cool thing. I think it's a mount of sorts. But more than that, I don't know. It's a new one on me. Rather wonderful. Anyway, I've been out for hours. We'll do one. I'll find one to end on, and I think we'll call it a day. But what a day. Right, we're going to end on this. Not near the surface. It's a nice squeak. It doesn't sound like it now, but did feel like there's a bit of iron in it. Now, if this isn't good, I don't know what to do, quite honestly. I mean, I've not found any cartridges here so far. So, let's just fingers crossed. Yeah, it's still in there. But I don't think that's necessarily an important sign here, even though the bottle opener was miles down, if indeed that's what it was.
Well, occasionally we find something. I know I'm always really pessimistic about my finds early doors. It's much better to be that way. Instead of convincing yourself it's something completely wonderful, convince yourself it's not. And then if you get a nice surprise like we did in this case, it will be all the better. Now you can see where I'm coming from with thinking it's a bottle opener, until I looked at bottle openers again, and quite often you obviously get a little tooth just there or there in order to catch it. So it made me think perhaps not a bottle opener, but I did think it was probably something horrible, a novelty of sorts. I put it on the detectinghub.co.uk information below, just saying, you know, just put me out of my misery, confirm this is what I think it is, an early bottle opener. And Ian, who does know his onions, he's been in this game a long time, said medieval strap end, and I thought, well, really? And then he showed us a photograph of one, but meanwhile I'd done a bit of research as well. And sure enough, that's what it is. It's just incredible, the workmanship and the ornateness of it. It's a sort of tree or leaves of sorts, branches. But even more than that, you can see where it's been silvered. I mean, heavily silvered in that groove there and that groove there. And you can see the heavy incrustation on that side. And I've left it on that side to be able to show you. But what I did, I just bossed it like I do sometimes until I know it's the wrong thing to do, with the brass nib of the composite cleaning pencil. Just really get in it and just scrape all that stuff off, and this hard copper seems to be able to deal with it really well, and that's what comes out. I've got a little bit more cleaning to do. So what would have happened was your leather would have gone in there, and there would have been a plate on that side there to close it off, and that would have made your strap end. But it'd been a sort of belt or something, or a sort of nice big thick leather strap end. So that's what that is. I mean, absolutely extraordinary and really, really beautiful one as well. I have seen other examples on the portable antiquities scheme, but I hate to say it, not as nice as this. So thank you very much for listening to that. Let's go back to the fields. Today, terrible. That's a cartridge, I'm afraid. I can't believe it. That's just rotten luck. It's not a cartridge. It's a big drawing pin of sorts. Someone found one of these the other day and reckoned it was a stud of a door. I'm not so sure. Quite honestly, it's more likely to be some sort of furniture fitting or upholstery thing. I don't think there were studs for doors, but that's quite cool. Anyway, it's not a cartridge. It was quite deep. It's got some age. Thank you very much for watching. Slightly unusual, but ultimately productive day, and see you next time.